Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. Are you talking yourself out of your sales? There are people who do that. They get into this mindset that, oh, this guy isn't going to buy. I don't know why I'm wasting my time. It's never going to work. He never bought from me in the past. He's not going to buy now. And they talk themselves out of it. So we're going to learn about something called the Pygmalion Effect. If you don't know what that is, it's based on the principle that if you give people, including yourself, higher expectations, they will typically do whatever they can to rise up and meet those expectations and even exceed them. There was an experiment years ago using this effect where they took a handful of students and they told them, we have tested you. You guys are the special people. You have a higher level of scholastic aptitude. You have a higher intelligence level, and we're going to give you a test, and we know you're going to score better than the rest of the people in the school because you have this incredible aptitude. And they gave the kids the test, and of course the results are obvious. They scored very, very high, better than the rest of the average people in the school. The only thing was these kids were not tested scholastically. They were just chosen at random to see if the effect works. And sure enough, it did. Now, if you give yourself an attitude that you're one of the better people without being cocky, but you're the one that could do it, and you know you can, because you believe in your own capabilities, you will do better. It's a very easy attitude to adopt. Years ago, there was a sales manager that used this effect on me, and of course, the thing is, I didn't realize he was doing it, and your customers won't know you're doing it either. But what he said to me was basically, look, Green, you're one of the better salespeople that I have. I know you could do it this month and hit number one. I'm looking for somebody on my team to make Salesman of the Month, and I want it to be you. And I said, what makes you think I can do it? And he said to me, because you're one of the better ones that can. I know you can. And whatever he did, it just changed my attitude. I can't even tell you what it did, but the results there were pretty obvious because I did, in fact, get Salesman of the Month, which was a big deal in those days because it came with it a little extra check, a little bonus. But when I told him, hey, guess what? I got the call that I did make it. He said, I knew you could. Now that guy, as a sales manager, was treating everybody in that way, and he had a phenomenal sales team that always did outstanding. So he didn't have to browbeat us because there was a time when I worked for another company. And of course, companies always get the salespeople together and they say, guys, we need you to do better. We need 10% more out of everybody this month. If the number that you're supposed to be hitting, let's say, is equal to 90, they'll say, you know what? We need 105 out of you this month, or we need 110. And that's okay as long as it's a positive input. But when you have the type of a salesperson that says, if you don't hit 110, we're going to write you up. Now you have been taken into that opposite effect of the Pygmalion. It's called the Golem Effect. The Golem Effect is where you de-incentivize somebody by intimidating them or treating them in such a way that they're going to be the loser. In that company, we had a temporary sales manager who was standing in for a month who was told, you better get your people on the ball and get them to do more. So he came and he pointed the finger at every one of us and told us how rotten we were doing and how we're not talented at all because we're not hitting the numbers. And look at the other team in the South Division. They're kicking your butts. This guy went on choosing every single person. There were 5 of us there. This was a meeting we had at about 9:30 in the morning on a Friday. And he intimidated everybody. He basically said, if you guys can't do it and pull this into these higher numbers, you're a bunch of losers. That's what he said. As a result, we got so frustrated, all of us got together and decided that instead of going for lunch and then going back to work, we're just going to go to lunch together. So we decided to meet at a local restaurant where we got together and we complained and we just said, this guy's off his rocker. Why is he treating us like this? And we sat there till about 3:30 in the afternoon. We stayed at this restaurant the whole day. When it was time to go, we decided, you know what, I'm not going to get any work today. I can't show up at these people's offices at 4 o'clock, and they're not going to buy. People never buy on a Friday. And we got all real negative, and we all left and went home for the day. And as a result, nobody did anything better. As a matter of fact, it was a anti-incentive because of the way that we were treated like we were a bunch of losers. Now, they brought in a new sales manager who was a real positive guy, and he told each person to speak of something great that they did for this company. Tell me a tough account that you managed to sell. And every person gave their testimony and said, yeah, I went into XYZ company and 15 other competitive salesmen had been there and nobody could sell them a thing and I managed to close the sale. And then he goes, now that's a winner right there. And he went around the room and he did that exercise with each person. I have trained sales coaches to do this. Give them a reason to feel that they can do better and they will do better. That guy brought in incredible numbers because of the fact that people were always up all the time. He made everybody feel like this is a great job and we're going to do terrific. And no, we were up. It was no different than any other month. It was the same kind of selling year after year where there was nothing special. It wasn't a month with a holiday in it. It wasn't tax season. It wasn't Christmas where your customers have excuses why they got to go or they can't do this. It was just another month. But we had a new sales guy, and he would take a guy. I remember this. He would take a guy and he'd go, listen, Tiger, I know you are going to go out there and just knock him dead this month. And this guy would walk out like on cloud 9. I mean, it was such a funny thing to say, right? So he pulled me aside, and as I'm joking all the time, and he said, listen, Tiger, you're going to do great. And I said, wait a minute, I thought Mike was Tiger. And we all laughed about it. But you know what? I had the best month I ever had. I had no idea even how I did it because it had something to do with somebody who shaped my attitude that not only can I do better, but I'm the one that can do better. And when you take that attitude and treat yourself, knowing how good you are without being egotistical, just treat yourself to the fact that you have accomplishments. And you can improve it by just this much. Just tiniest bit. Can you make just one more sale for the month just to get your numbers up over what you normally would? The answer to that is usually yes. And then when people realize they can do it, guess what happens? They perform and they do it. You have it in you to be one of the top people, but don't compare yourself with the top people. Compare yourself to yourself. Look at you, what you did in the past. What can you do better? Forget about the guy who has the better territory and all he has to do is get up in the morning and answer the phone. He sells more than everyone. Don't compare yourself to that guy or that woman. Compare yourself to yourself. Did you do better than you did last year, than last month? If the answer is yes, then guess what? You can do better all the time. Maybe nobody ever told you this. But if you tell yourself this and you invoke the Pygmalion Effect on your customer when you're talking to them, Listen, Mr. Customer, I know this is a tough decision, but you'll make the right decision. You know what you're doing. And you're going to know what's the better product and what is the better support and why to do business with one company over the other. I can see it in you. You know what you're doing. And you might be giving that person a lift that they need, and that might make the difference just to bring you a little bit closer to converting that to a closed sale. That's how it works. That's why sales is fun. That's why you can talk, you can sell. All of this is done by talking. You don't have to lift 150-pound weights and walk around with them and exhaust your muscles for the day. Save that for the gym. It's all up here, and you can do it. I have seen so many people over the years who take the training and they go out and they employ the techniques learned in You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and the business consultants' incentives, and they go out there and they improve and they make sales. They start off maybe at a place of being in a mediocre position. All of us have done that at one time. We start off and we struggle just to be in the middle. Next thing you know, we're going up a little bit at a time until at some point we've been around for a while and we're hitting the top numbers. Now, why is that? We're more familiar with the product. We're more familiar with the pitch. We've developed more confident because we have the knowledge of the product and the company, and we talk differently. We know our customers. If you're in a business where you can have repeat customers, this is valuable information. This is information that'll send you skyrocketing above everybody else. You will be the best that you've ever been.